here at Yankee Stadium, and the stands are filling out. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. And
strikes, that's 4 Ks through the first 6 batters for Chase Burns, picking up where he left off against the Mets.
Bank Park, which is a lot of people wondering why are the Mets not playing. 2-2, swing and a miss. Powered 97 to the outside corner. So 5 outs for Chase Burns, 4 of them are strikeouts. 2 away in the top of the second, 3-0 Cincinnati. And here's the lefty, Brett Beatty. Beatty 2 hits, 2 walks yesterday in the finale against Atlanta. Batting .231 though for the season with a .626 OPS. Burns winds and fires. A pitch chopped foul at the first base line, and it's 0-1. Well, there's no Italy in the World Cup.
No Italy.
Apparently is big news.
3rd consecutive World Cup.
Chase Burns was born in Italy, pitcher for the Reds. Parents were in the military, and his sister was born in Japan. Talk about a family, a military family that was all over the world. Here's the 0-1. Beatty takes low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And so it's interesting because he's wasn't an international free agent. He came to the U.S. and went to high school and college here, even though he was born overseas. 1-1 to Beatty. Grounded foul outside of first, and it's 1-2. If you go to high school in America at all, you are then a draft product. You have to enter the draft. The Phillies actually had a guy, Yordani Mesquita, random pitcher that I remember for the minor leagues, who was born in the Dominican, scouted in the Dominican. He was almost signed. The 1-2 missed up high, 2 balls and 2 strikes, until he was declared ineligible because he had attended, I think, 1 year of high school
in like Scranton,
in Pennsylvania, and didn't even play high school baseball. But you went to high school, get in that draft. 2-2. Beatty swings and misses at 98. Chase Burns is on one tonight. He strikes out 2 more in a 1-2-3 second inning. 5 punchies for Burns. We go to the bottom of the second in Cincinnati, 3-0 Reds. On Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
Let's go, Mets!
If you're still using a sports book to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Here's the thing. Want to be the grandparents who bolted to the burbs, or the cool relatives still living in NYC? The city that people come to be at the center of everything. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy has the tools, agents, and guidance to make you a forever New Yorker too. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow, Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing: smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's BYRNA, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
In baseball, matchups matter. And with Red Pocket Mobile, you get to make the call. Red Pocket Mobile gives you a choice of access on 3 major 5G networks, so you can choose the signal that works best wherever you go. Whether you're at the ballpark, the city, or traveling across the country, Red Pocket Mobile has you covered.
Group.com.
Reds 3, Mets nothing as we come back to Cincinnati. Now Matt McLain leading off for the Reds against Tobias Myers. First pitch, breaking ball, drops in for a strike, a slider, and it's 0-1. McLain, Stevenson, and Arroyo, 7, 8, and 9 against Tobias Myers, who threw 25 first-inning pitches, gave up 3 runs. 0-1. Runs up and in with a fastball. That's 1 ball and 1 strike. So the pitching plan for the week, tomorrow, it will not be Christian Scott, who went on the injured list today It has nothing to do with his arm, shoulder, or elbow. A 1-1 misses up and in. 2 balls and a strike. Sometimes injuries get leaked every once in a while, and it was leaked today that Scott was going on the IL, and that's where everybody in Mets land went, again? What is it now? Here comes a 2-1. Missed outside breaking ball. 3 balls and a strike. Turns out it is only a right hip impingement. So he received a cortisone shot. He's feeling better. They don't expect him to miss too much time, too many starts, which is good news. 3-1. Up and in. That's not good news. It's ball 4. It's a leadoff walk, and Myers continues to find a rhythm here. Well, McLean is on. Tyler Stevenson coming up. The injury report brought to you by the Rothenberg Law Firm. If you're injured in an accident, the game plan is simple. Just go to injurylawyer.com. So Christian Scott, whose birthday it is today, is not with the team. He will not pitch tomorrow, but instead the surprise assignment, Kodai Senga will be here. Pitch to Stevenson. He takes a breaking ball, strike, a slider, and it's 0-1. We expected Senga maybe to make one more rehab start, but with Scott news, which was recent, Scott came out of his bullpen not feeling good. This is only a couple days ago. So Senga was probably going to stay in the minors for one more outing, but they're going to shoot him in there tomorrow. 0-1. Missed away with a heater, 1 ball and 1 strike.
It was going to be decision time for Kodai. I believe his clock was up this weekend, so he was only going to make one more start at the most.
3-0 Cincinnati. We're in the bottom of the second inning. 1-1. Missed up and in. Missed with a slider, and it's 2 balls and a strike on Tyler Stevenson, who's hitting .205, 5 homers and 19 RBIs. He and Jose Trevino splitting the catching duties. Trevino just came back a couple days to weeks ago. Hamstring injury. 2-1. Line to left, base hit right between short and third, going into left. Soto picks it up, holds the runner at second, and fires in toward third. So McLean is now at second base. Stevenson on at first with a hard-hit single. And here come the Reds again. Scored 3 in the first. They've got 2 on, nobody out. And Edwin Arroyo, their rookie, coming up. Switch hitter batting left, playing some second base. He's been playing thanks to the De La Cruz injury. The Reds always have a good number of infielders and guys that can play all over the diamond. So Arroyo hauled up, one of their top prospects, number 3 in the organization, playing second. Beatty in at third. First pitch, Arroyo shows bunt, pops it in the air toward third. It is a foul ball. Beatty came charging in for it and couldn't get there fast enough to make a dive. Hit it, watched it hit the chalk, and then go left for a strike. So other thing on the rotation, mentioned Senga tomorrow. Nolan McLean will officially go on Wednesday. The Reds tomorrow will counter with Brady Singer, and then lefty Nick Lodolo for the day game Wednesday. See if Arroyo squares again on 0-1. He does. Pitch, bunted toward the mound. Myers picks it up, looks toward third. No play there. Throw to first. Too late. Arroyo is safe. The bases are loaded. The ball came out of Myers' hands a lot lighter than a normal throw to first. I don't know if he didn't get a great grip on it, didn't get enough underneath him with his legs, but it floated over toward first base. So McLean goes to third. Stevenson goes to second. He looked to third, but once he realized Beatty wasn't going to be there, he still didn't throw it strongly at all to first base.
Well, he was never able to get his feet going in that direction. His momentum was falling towards third.
Top of the order now for Dunn. Pitch is in for a strike with a slider, 0-1.
So because of that, he threw flat-footed and wasn't able to get anything on the throw.
He certainly, once he decided and looked toward first, the window was there to throw him out. Just never got enough on the throw. 0-1 to Dunn. Popped up left side of the infield. Beatty behind the bag at third, straddling the line, makes the catch. Infield fly was on, but they get done anyway, and there's 1 out. So Tobias Myers has been treading water. Jonathan Pintaro is starting to warm up for the Mets, the right-hander that was called up today. Mets made a lot of moves today. They sent Daniel Duarte out for Scott on the IL, put Jorge Polanco on the 60-day, which doesn't mean he's out for 60 more days, but he's been out long enough that they can put him on that designated spot. Bases loaded, 1 out. Pitch up high. Blade takes, and it's 1-0. It's 3-0 Reds, bottom of the second. Zach Short has been picked up. So Short will probably be here tomorrow, Carlos Mendoza said. They'll have to make a move to the roster to get him on. So Myers, Pintaro, and Short all moves today. 1-0. Blade fouls it back, and it's 1-1. Well, this part of the lineup is not fun for anybody to face, especially when you have the bases loaded. Blade's having a monster season. He's hit a dozen homers. And then right behind him, Sal Stewart, even though he's been struggling, has hit 13. 3-0 Reds. Bases juice. 1-1. Missed down low with a splitter. 2 balls and a strike. All righties in the lineup except for Blade, the true lefty. And the other one that is not is Edwin Arroyo, who just laid down the bunt, who's a switch hitter. So that's why Jonathan Pintaro is getting loose. The Reds were expecting David Peterson, who we might still see. 2-1 coming. Inside, ball 3, missed with a fastball. This next pitch is going to be, and no choice, has to be a juicy one.
The way that Chase Burns is throwing the ball through the first 2 innings, this is such a massive point in this ball game, even just in the second.
McLean at third, Stevenson at second, Arroyo at first, 1 out, 3-0 Reds. 3-1 pitch. Missed down low. Challenge coming, though, from Alvarez on a splitter. For now, it is a walk to make it 4-0.
Pitch is called the ball. The catcher is challenging.
So we shall see. A look out to left center field. And it was low by a mile. Alvarez was just doing what he could to find a strike. Blade walks. That's an RBI for him. McLean walks home from third to score. Stevenson goes to third. Arroyo to second. Carlos Mendoza to the mound. Tobias Myers just did not have it tonight. 43 pitches and leaves with a mess. Bases loaded, 1 out. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Red Pocket Mobile. Visit redpocket.com to see why more Americans are switching to better wireless while also paying less.
Pardon our dust, but don't miss our deals. The construction sale is officially on at Westbury Toyota on Old Country Road. We're building a better experience for you, which means we're moving inventory fast. Get incredible offers on the legendary Tacoma, the powerful Tundra. Drive home the best-selling Camry or the fuel-efficient Corolla. Visit Westbury Toyota today. Ask for General Manager Randy Abreu and tell him you're here for the construction sale. Westbury Toyota. We're building for the future so you can save today.
Are you or a loved one living with Crohn's, colitis, MS, rheumatoid arthritis, or a chronic health condition that requires IV medication? Check out ThriveWell Infusion. Say hello to state-of-the-art private luxury suites. ThriveWell Infusion understands that it can be stressful when receiving an infusion, but it doesn't have to be. At ThriveWell, you'll be provided with exceptional care, comfort, compassion, and convenience. Visit us at ThriveWellInfusion.com. That's ThriveWellInfusion.com. Saving lives, drip by drip.
Question: what's better than one U.S. News and World Report ranking? 46 of them. That's what we just achieved. RWJ Barnabas Health, New Jersey's academic healthcare system, stands out nationally for quality and excellence. Thanks to the dedication and skill of our providers, working for the communities we care for and care deeply about. Learn more at rwjbh.org/US News.
Still in the bottom of the second inning, Mets asking Jonathan Pintaro to come put the fire out. The Reds have a 4-0 lead. They have the bases loaded, and there's 1 out. Tobias Myers is responsible for all 3 men that are on base. He threw 43 pitches and got 4 outs. So Stevenson's at third, Arroyo's at second, Blade's at first, and Sal Stewart is up, followed by Spencer Steer. Stewart, big power, 13 homers. Has walked and scored in this game. The infield playing back, corners in a bit. First pitch. Fastball pierces the outside corner at 95, and it's 0-1. Pintaro's been good when he's been up here. He's pitched to a 1.35 ERA. This is his 4th outing and 5th as a major leaguer. He debuted last year. He's set, and his pitch. Swing and a miss. Good cutter. That's his best pitch, and it's 0-2. So Stewart, who's been mentioned, he's been struggling, hitting .203 over his last 20 games. These are the kind of situations, though, where you You have nothing but confidence. Reds have scored a run in the inning. They have 4 for the game. The bases are loaded. 0-2. Pitch. Foul back. Was right on that elevated cutter. And it stays 0-2 on Stewart, who is in his second season. He debuted last year. The Mets kind of saw the very beginning of what he was all about when they were here in September. He's a good hitter and pretty good third baseman, but his bat is his best tool. Bases loaded, 1 out. The 0-2. Up and in. Missed with 96. That's a ball and 2 strikes. Now, Pintaro mentioned that the cutter is his best pitch. It just has that little side-to-side movement. It's only about 91, 92, but the fastball, that one got up to 96. Middle infield back. Pintaro set. 1-2. Reach for and poke past Young. Base hit going into right. Stevenson is in. Bench fires toward the plate. Everybody else moves up on base. 5-0 Cincinnati in the second inning. Stewart goes to first. Bleday to second. Arroyo to third. And the bases are still loaded. There's still just 1 out. And Spencer Steers coming up.
If you're Pintaro, you just throw your hands up in the air and you say, what can I do? That ball is in the left-handed batter's box. It was a sweeper that just kept on going. And Stewart just flicks the bat head out and placed it perfectly.
So now Steer, bases still loaded. 5-0 Reds. Pitch. Missed inside with a sinker, and it's 1-0 on Steer. But the way that Young was playing, potentially for that out at home plate, bases loaded, 1 out, but still backing up where you give yourself a little room for error. It was just beyond his reach. 1-0. Fouled off the bat and rolls away. No argument really from the Reds on whether it hit him or not. So it is 1-1 on Spencer Steer. Over his last 9, but his last time up, his ground out brought in the first run of the game. And the next batter behind him, Eugenio Suarez, hit a 2-run home run. That was not the worst of it. The storm is still brewing here for the Mets. The 1-1. Outside with a cutter. 2 balls and a strike. Right now, Tobias Myers still responsible for Bleday at second and Arroyo at third. Stewart with a walking lead off first. Outfielders playing the other way. 2-1 from Pintaro. Fouled off to the right side, and it's still 2-2 now, with Suarez waiting on deck. Pintaro, older prospect, top 30 for the Mets, 28 years old, out of Shorter University. He's from Alabama, but Shorter University in Rome, Georgia. They can give you length as a reliever. Last time out, 3 innings. The time before that, he saw these Reds for 2 2/3. Right now, length. Mets need outs. There's just 1 out in the second inning. Bases loaded. 2-2. Off the plate. Missed with 97 miles an hour, and the count is full. The Mets have combined to throw 53 pitches already, and they've gotten 4 outs. Arroyo at third, Bleday at second, Stewart at first. Pintaro set. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with a cutter. They might chase ball 4, but that cutter has such movement. It almost looks like a slider with how sharp the bite is. So right now the Mets can see the finish line. Can they get there without giving up any more? That's the question as they face a guy already has a home run tonight, Eugenio Suarez. He is now 3 shy of tying Barry Larkin for 11th on the all-time Reds home run list. Pitch. Outside. Fastball missed, and it's 1-0. The all-time all-timer is Johnny Bench, who hit 389 for Cincinnati. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 5-0 Reds. 3 in the first, 2 here in the second. Infield is back. 1-0. Way outside. Alvarez had to fall to his right to catch that cutter, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Second stint for Gino here in Cincinnati. The return was an emotional one. He was sitting on that free agent sideline for a long time. Didn't get signed until very late in the process. 2-0 coming. Nubbed foul over to the dugout. Pinballs around in there as we get our first look at Tito Francona. military in his second season managing the Reds. He's got that famous captain's chair in the dugout. Couldn't sit on the pine like a regular manager, so they gave him like a boat chair. Bases loaded. Pintaro holds the set. The 2-1. Missed outside with a cutter. 3 balls and a strike. And again, these Reds, this ballpark, the way that home runs can fly here, this is not a good situation for anybody. Bases loaded. 3-1 to Eugenio Suarez. Pintaro set. His pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. A little bit of a hanger, too. Suarez chose not to bite. The count full.
That was middle. that was a get me over cutter at 88. It was right down the middle of the plate.
3-2, bases juice. Pitch. Hit high in the air to center field. Ewing going back. He's onto the track. He's at the wall, and it's gone. Eugenio Suarez has dominated these first 2 innings. It's his second home run of the game. It's a grand slam. It is 9-0 Cincinnati in the bottom of the second inning. What a nightmare. First game of the series. First 2 innings of the series for the New York Mets. Suarez has knocked in 6 of the 9. Came around first with his palms flipped up to the sky saying thank you. And certainly the 2 at-bats that he's had tonight, he's just been licking his chops at the situation he's been put in. That one was off the top of the bullpen in left center field. Here's Marte. Pitch. Missed inside. Ball 1. Marte struck out to end the first inning. The 1-0. Strike to the outside corner with a cutter, and it's 1-1. And again, it didn't want to paint an ominous picture without cause. It's not the guy you want to face when you have your back against the wall and you're not throwing strikes. Here's the 1-1. Reached for, popped in the air to right. Benj jogs in. Makes the catch to end the inning. All 9 Reds come to the plate in a 6-run second. Cincinnati has a 9-0 lead. We go to the 3rd on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
Let's go Mets!
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Here's the thing. Want to be the grandparents who bolted to the burbs or the cool relatives still living in NYC? The city that people come to be at the center of everything. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy has the tools, agents, and guidance to make you a forever New Yorker too. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow, Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
We're not saying the Florida Keys and Key West are better at relaxing than you are. But we did invent the kind of place where chickens cross the road, and no one asks why. And traffic jams mean amenities blocking the boat ramp. 5 destinations, 0 stress, 1,000 reasons to forget what day it is. Plan now at visitfloridakeys.com.
I'd finally have time to reread my favorite fantasy book.
Dig deeper. We're imagining winning the New York lottery here.
Okay, I'd build my own reading nook right where the sun hits.
You're getting warmer.
The French
7,000. Well, we go to the 3rd inning in Cincinnati. If you're just joining us, well, you missed quite a show. It is 9-0 Cincinnati Reds. And the Mets will send up MJ Melendez and Francisco Alvarez for the first time tonight. Some of these Reds have already hit twice, Pat.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that Chase Burns has 5 strikeouts through 2 innings. And his first pitch to MJ Melendez, it's a strike. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 0-1. We're coming to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly. Melendez at 204, 4 homers and 11 RBIs. Next pitch up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mets do have 1 hit so far tonight. That was a double back in the first inning by Bo Bichette. 1-1 on Melendez. Pitch. Popped up foul and out of play. It's 1-2. MJ went to Westminster Christian, same high school as Sal Stewart. JP Arancibia went there as well. Doug Mankiewicz. Alex Rodriguez. He was pretty good. 1-2 to Melendez. Fouled off. Just under us and 2 hour left. Yeah, that counts 1 ball and 2 strikes. Remember talking with MJ in Chicago when he first joined the Mets about his time growing up in Miami. He said everybody knew about Sal Stewart coming up. Burns from the windup takes a deep breath. And a long look in, the 1-2. Fouled off. And Melendez stays alive. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, coming into this series, the storyline around Cincinnati was this was a team in free fall. Can't score any runs without Ellie De La Cruz. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Melendez down on strikes. That's strikeout number 6 for Chase Burns. 1 away, Francisco Alvarez to the plate. Celebrate Pride Night at Citi Field on Friday, June 26th. The first 15,000 fans will receive an exclusive Mets Pride sleeveless jersey, courtesy of Delta Airlines. For tickets, go to Mets.com/tickets. Here's Alvarez, final Met to face Burns for the first time tonight. First pitch from Burns. Fouled off back to the screen. It's 0-1. That was a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. It's just the 40th pitch thrown by Burns tonight. And outside of that 1-out double by Bo Bichette in the first, he has been flawless. The 0-1. So we had a soft ground ball to second. Arroyo, big hop, throws to first in time for the out. 2 away.
Well, that's a big part of this game. I mean, it's 9-0 Reds, but in the first inning, there's a chance it was 1-0 Mets. When you get that 1-out double from Bichette, you've got Soto up, you've got Young up, guys that have been good for you, knocking in runs. The Mets don't score there, and then the Reds jump on them right away. That turns into a missed opportunity of the way this game could have started.
Here's Benj. Swings the first pitch and pounds it off his own foot. Counts 0-1. The Cincinnati team came in with a minus 58 run differential. They're the only team in the National League Central under 500. Pirates are right at 500. Struggling mightily with runners in scoring position, the worst in baseball. Now, don't tell Eugenio Suarez that. The 0-1. Swinging a fly ball center field. Playable for Dunn. Into the left center field gap. Makes the catch. Final out in the third inning. Second consecutive 1-2-3 inning for Chase Burns. 8 in a row set down by the Reds right-hander. We go to the bottom of the third. 9-0 Cincinnati on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's BYRNA, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
In baseball, consistency is everything. With Red Pocket Mobile, premium 5G plans start at just $10 a month, and the rate stays locked in. So no sudden price changes, no surprises down the line, just wireless that delivers a price guarantee month after month.
Bottom of the third inning, 9-0 Cincinnati. Matt McLean leads off for the second consecutive inning. And the first pitch from Jonathan Pintaro. Fastball down and away, 1 ball, no strikes. McLean led off the second, worked a 4-pitch walk against Tobias Myers. And what ended up being a 6-run second inning for the Reds. 1-0. Cutter missed inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Final line for Tobias Myers, inning and a third, 4 hits, 7 runs, all earned, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout. That was a strikeout of Noel V. Marte back in the first inning. 2-0. Drops in for a strike. It's 2-1. That was the Mets' first strikeout of the game. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors. Don't settle for a good agent. Go for a great one at Weichert.com. 2-1 to McLean. Inside, and it hit him. And a free base runner to start the inning. The Reds have had the leadoff man on in every inning so far. He has scored each time, and McLean just took a 2-seamer off the hip.
Ricocheted up and actually hit the umpire's chin protector, that little piece that dangles at the bottom of the mask. Knocked it clean off. So Alvarez and Wegner and even Tyler Stevenson, the batter, who's a catcher, it's like looking at guys at a mechanic shop trying to figure out, okay, what do you think we should do here?
They are reattaching the Velcro.
They've got all 3 men, the right men for the job to try to fix this.
It appears that the chin guard has broken again. So they're going to call in a second opinion. And we're going to let you know to infinity and beyond.
Okay, that's quite a transition, Pat.
Head to Citi Field on Sunday, June 28th for Toy Story 5 Day. First 5,000 kids, 12 and under, at the game will get an exclusive Toy Story 5 reversible bucket hat. For tickets, go to Mets.com/tickets. Did you know there was a Toy Story 5 coming out?
I think watching the Knicks the other night, it might have popped up. And, coming soon. I looked at my wife. I go, I haven't even seen Toy Story 3. They have 5 now.
You haven't seen Toy Story 3?
No.
Oh, we'll talk in a second. Here's Tyler Stevenson with a runner at first base and nobody out. Pintaro's first pitch, down and away, 1 ball and no strikes. I saw Toy Story 3 in theaters.
It was a while ago, right? It was maybe 10 years
10
ago?
years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't ever need to see Toy Story 4.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah. But Toy Story 3, oof.
I heard it's a tearjerker.
Oh, yeah. 1-0. Fouled off, back to the screen. It's 1-1. Toy Story 2, fine. It's good. It's a normal sequel. But Toy Story 3, which came out almost 20 years after Toy Story 2. I was a grown man when Toy Story 3 came out, and that was emotional. Next pitch to Stevenson's down and away. It's 2 balls and a strike.
I think that was supposed to be on purpose. From all the things
Yes.
I've heard about it is you were a kid for the first 1 and 2, and then the reason that 3 hit so hard is because it's based off all those childhood memories that you built.
2-1. Swing and a miss.
You didn't like 2? Big Al's Toy Barn?
That's fine.
That's Newman.
Yeah, I know it's Wayne Knight. He looks just like him. Yeah, the prospector, he was
not a nice man.
No.
You can't rush hard.
No.
A lot of good in Toy Story 2.
A lot of good in Toy Story 2.
It's 9-0, folks.
2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. We're in the bottom of the third. And the pitch to Stevenson. Inside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. But Toy Story 5, I believe, comes out on Friday.
As Madge tells us in our rear, we've got the day off. Not anymore.
Payoff pitch, runner goes. Pitch is a called strike, throw to second base. And not in time. Stolen base from Matt McClain. That is his 11th. A strikeout for Pintaro. That is his 2nd strikeout of the game.
Tell you what, that pitch to Stevenson looked a little bit low. I'm going to take a look at the pitch on StatCast and see, because that would have been ball 4. It was very, very close. It might have just clipped the bottom of the strike zone. Remember, the Reds only have 1 challenge remaining, so they're going to hold on to it.
Here's Arroyo batting from the left side of the plate. Takes outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Arroyo's bunt in the 2nd inning was... It's a small play, but it was a really big play in that inning. The 1-0. Way outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Cincinnati had first and second, nobody out in the 2nd after McClain walked, Myers walked McClain, and then Stevenson singled. And now Francisco Alvarez walks out to the mound to talk with Pintaro with the count 2 balls and no strikes. Edwin Arroyo was up there to sacrifice. He bunted the first one foul. Then he bunts the next one to the third base side. Tobias Myers looked towards third. Brett Beatty was charging in. Myers flat-footed. Couldn't get a lot on the throw. Arroyo was safe at first. And you think about how the rest of that inning went. Dunn pops out. Lede walks. Myers out of the game. Stewart pokes one out to right on a ball that was in the left-handed batter's box for a single. Steer goes down on strikes. And then the big blow was the Eugenio Suarez home run. It's impossible to play if this, then that. But the complexion of that inning is different if the Mets are able to get an out on the Arroyo bunt. 2-0. Swinging a high fly ball to right field towards the gap. Ewing underneath it. Makes the catch. McClain tags from second, heads to third. He'll get there without a throw. 2 outs, and the order flips for Blake Dunn. 9-0 Cincinnati, 2 outs, bottom 3. And Blake Dunn next to the plate. He doubled and scored a run back in the first inning on a ball that A.J. Ewing could not read off the bat. Carson Bench came in to try and recover. Went into a slide, had the ball in his glove, just couldn't come down with it. So Dunn's 1 for 2, first pitch. So we had a ground ball to shortstop. Bichette charges, throws on the run to first, in time for the out. And that retires the side. So for the first time tonight, Cincinnati held off the board. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left in scoring position. We go to the 4th, 9-0 Reds on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Here's the thing. Want to be the grandparents who bolted to the burbs, or the cool relatives still living in NYC? The city that people come to be at the center of everything. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy has the tools, agents, and guidance to make you a forever New Yorker too. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
I'd finally have time to reread my favorite fantasy book.
Dig deeper. We're imagining winning the New York lottery here.
Okay, I'd build my own reading nook right where the sun hits.
You're getting warmer.
The French sun. I'll buy a villa in Marseille. Wait, what's the French word for sun?
I don't know, Kathy. You're the reader.
Okay, I'll hire a tutor to learn the French word for sun, then the words to negotiate real estate, then I'll buy my own French library.
And to think you just wanted to reread a book. New York Lottery. Can you imagine? Play today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal.
Is yes.
Back in Cincinnati, Reds with a 9-0 lead as we get set for the fourth inning. Brought to you by Cars for Kids, 877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today. Bo Bichette leads off for the Mets against Chase Burns. First pitch. Swing a fly ball out to right field. Marte over to his right. Can't get there. It's over his head, and it's up against the wall. Bichette around first, heading for second. Gets there standing with his second double of the game. And it's a fourth straight multi-hit game for Bo Bichette. He has 18 hits in his last 11 games. He's the only Met that has reached base tonight. But, Keith, for the first time this season, we can honestly say Bo Bichette is on fire.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we're seeing is not just singles. It's the extra base hits. He's not a home run hitter, but he's hit some home runs. The doubles, though, that's his game. He's had 2 of them tonight.
Here's Juan Soto. He's 0 for 1. He went down on strikes against Burns. First pitch. Caught strike. Counts 0-1. That was a backdoor slider from Chase Burns. As Keith told you, he's pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher. He will mix in a changeup here and there, but exclusively to lefties. The 0-1. Down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. The fastball, he throws that 57% of the time. He throws the slider 37% of the time. And that changeup 6% of the time. The 1-1. Soto takes a fastball for a strike, and it's 1-2.
That's why it's hard to go up there as a hitter and think about the changeup. You can't have too many things in your mind with the fastball and the slider. Just the identification process from, okay, is it a fastball or a slider? I wouldn't even want to think about, is it a changeup?
1-2. In the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jared Young's on deck for the Mets. That's who's on deck. Brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Mets trying to chip away at the Reds' 9-0 lead. Well, the Mets just need a base runner not named Bo Bichette. He's at second. The 2-2 to Soto. Outside. A 98-mile-an-hour fastball that had all sorts of arm side run. It counts full 3-2. I told you, Bichette, that was his 4th straight multi-hit game. Soto has 4 straight multi-hit games. Payoff. Up and away, ball 4. Soto works a walk, first Mets walk of the game. Mets have multiple base runners for the first time tonight against Chase Burns. Mets' first walk of the game presented by Emu Health, the official pediatric dental partner of the New York Mets radio network. Emu Health, move forward. Here's Jared Young. He's 0 for 1. He went down on strikes. Back in the first inning. Burns with 6 strikeouts so far. Working from the stretch, ready at the belt. Pitch. Fastball low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Oh, Burns is looking down at his feet, kicking some dirt. He knows that he's inviting the Mets to not come all the way back and tie this game, but to chip away and have potentially a big inning against him here.
1-0 the count. Sets, kicks home. Swing and a miss. Slider down in the dirt. Young chased ball 2. And it counts 1-1 on Jared Young. What an RBI last night. I should say yesterday afternoon in the Mets series win against Atlanta. 1-1. Swing and a pop-up. On the infield first base side, Steer underneath it. Infield fly roll on, makes the catch. 1 away. Hey, A.J. Ewing next to the plate. With 1 out and 2 on, Mets trailing the Reds 9-0, top of the 4th inning. Ewing popped out to third base back in the 2nd inning. AJ, who had a chance to go home last night when the team landed. Mets got in right around 8:30 or so. First pitch outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Was very excited to see his dog. Said he doesn't get a chance to get home that often. Comes home a couple times during the off season, during the holidays. The 1-0. Fastball for a called strike. It's 1-1.
Do you know the name of this dog?
You know, that's a question I didn't ask. I should have, though. I'm going to say it's Lucy. 1-1. Cue shot foul.
I think you can learn a lot by about somebody by how the family names the dog. Is
Fair.
it something fun? Is it something serious, like Gregory, T-Bone, Fluffy?
Timeout call by Ewing. What does it say about my father that he named his dog Reese's Peanut Butter Cup?
Well, wasn't one of them Murphy?
The original dog was named Murphy, yes.
After Bob Murphy.
Correct.
And what did we learn?
That my dad grew up listening to Bob Murphy.
There you go. That's what I'm trying to say.
1-2 pitch. Hit foul and out of play, off to the left. Counts 1-2.
I don't know if AJ goes home. Down, Brenneman, down.
I named my first dog, full name, Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight.
And we can answer a lot of questions about Pat McCarthy with that one.
He went by Sky for short. Timeout called as Stevenson trots out to the mound. I do always find it funny when folks have dogs with just very stern human names.
That's what I'm saying. Those. I want to know more about those people.
Name your dog Richard.
We were Coco, my family.
Coco?
That's kind of classic.
That's a classic dog
Top
name.
10 name.
Yeah.
I think we were just happy to have a dog at all.
Yeah.
I believe Mom and Dad said okay.
1-2 the count on Ewing. Pitch. Up and away. 2-2. Yeah, we had Murphy for a couple of years. And we had Sky. Sky was with us as a boxer for almost 11 years. He was around for a long time. 2-2 pitch. In the dirt, 3-2. Now, my parents have had a golden doodle named Ginger for 15 years. Still around.
Wow. Yeah, Coco was about 14.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
It's a long time for a dog. First and second, 1 out, 9-0 Reds in the 4th. Burns sets, payoff to Ewing. Tapped foul at home plate. That one clipped Stevenson behind the dish. He is on all fours after that foul ball. He's got the mask up. He is slow to get up.
Well, it wasn't the fastball, which you simply, when you foul it off the catcher, you're just redirecting the velocity elsewhere. This was the slider at 91, which still doesn't feel good. Off the quads, the only part of the body for a catcher that, when you face him, is uncovered. Painful. Now, Mark Wegner has given him a ton of time.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat to A.J. Ewing. That's trying to get on the board, trailing the Reds 9-0. Burns a long look in. He's ready. Check to second. And the right-hander kicks home. Check swing. He did not go. Ball 4. On the appeal to third, Jacob Metz says no. Second walk of the inning by Chase Burns. And that'll trigger a visit from Derek Johnson, the pitching coach.
Tell you what, that pitch was outside. I saw Tyler Stevenson think about reaching for his helmet, the catcher, and it's not as if, remember, the Reds only have one challenge left. It's not as if, okay, maybe it was a strike or not. I'm just going to save my challenge. That was ball 4. I was outside the zone. And that's not the first time I've seen A.J. Ewing against a really strong electric arm, draw a walk long at bat. Remember the other night in San Diego, Mason Miller able to have a good at bat there and draw a walk, and he does it here to give a little life to this Met offense and slow down the runaway train that has been Chase Burns.
Well, I remember talking with AJ in Washington. So it was about a week into his big league career, and everything you heard from folks around the Mets was this kid has incredible plate discipline. He doesn't chase. It's not really something that can be taught. It's natural.
Umpires are signaling to each other that Burns is going to work out of the windup with the bases loaded instead of out of the stretch.
Marcus Semien at the plate with the bases full. 9-0 Cincinnati in the fourth. Burns from the windup drives home. Upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. But I asked DJ who his favorite player was growing up, and it's fitting that he said Joey Votto. Well, there's few players in baseball over the last decade that had better plate discipline than Votto. Next pitch to Semien, swinging a foul tip. It's 1-1. And there's an argument to be made that maybe not with the present-day analytics of how on-base percentage is weighed. Think about the amount of hits that Joey Votto gave up. Swinging a foul tip, and the next pitch for Semien, it's 1-2 because he walked so much. One ball and 2 strikes on Semien. Burns ready from the windup, delivers. Upstairs, 2-2.
Well, because he walked so much, his Hall of Fame candidacy will be looked at a little bit differently, but those are just as good as hits, as we say.
2-2 on Semien with the bases full. Pitch from Burns. Check swing, ground ball, foul. Still 3-2. Also, is there anybody in the world that has had a more interesting post-retirement life than Joey Votto right now? Have you seen what he's done?
What's he up to?
He's traveling the world. He's surfing in Sri Lanka. He got his sushi chef certification in Japan. 2-2. In the dirt. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He said the best part about it is he's going to places in the world where people don't recognize him. So he's just able to experience things. Well, the count's now 3-2 on Marcus Semien with the bases full. Payoff pitch. Ground ball foul. That one hits Semien in the right-handed batter's box. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Now this is a spot where Semien is fighting, trying to lift something. We know Marcus loves to pull the ball in the air. That's his goal every time. And Burns is a guy that, for velocity purposes, you can lift him, you can hit him out. I mean, he's given up 9 home runs this year. This is a ballpark that is conducive to home runs. We've already seen 2 from Eugenio Suarez to get the Reds out to a 9-0 lead. This is a spot where you want to get at least something with the bases loaded and 1 out.
Third straight full count. Pitch to Semien. Swinging a fly ball crushed down the left field line, but hooked foul into the second deck. Yeah, the count's still 3-2.
Loves to cheat on that high heat, just to lift it and pull it. And got too far out in front.
Burns up to 70 pitches already. 3-2 to Semien, swinging a pop-up. On the infield fly rule on. McLean makes the catch, 2 away. And Burns wins the battle on what was a 9-pitch at-bat with Marcus Semien. 70 pitches already for Chase Burns with 2 outs in the fourth. Not done yet. Brett Beatty to the plate. The Semien at-bat was 9 pitches. 8-pitch walk to Ewing. A 6-pitch walk to Juan Soto. Bases are still full, 2 outs. 9-0 Reds. Pitch to Beatty. In the dirt. Backhanded by Stevenson. That counts 1 ball and no strikes. Now, if you're Terry Francona, you just want him to throw strikes. You have a 9-0 lead. You have a bullpen that has struggled mightily this season. 1-0. Fouled off. 1-1. And you have your ace on the mound. It's an ideal situation for a team that is desperate to win games. But when he's up to 72 pitches in the fourth inning, you're looking at probably 12 outs from your bullpen.
Bullpen's not been good.
1-1 to Beatty. Fastball at the knees for a strike. It's 1-2. Stevenson was not even waiting for Mark Wegner to make the strike call. He was already set to challenge if that ball was not called a strike. But the count's now 1-2 on Brett Beatty with the bases full. Burns ready, and the pitch. Outside. 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
That's some oohs and ahs from the crowd there looking up into that video board. 100.3.
It's the first time we've seen Burns hit triple digits tonight. This will be the 75th pitch of the night. The bases are loaded. It's on its way. Swing and a miss. A nasty wipeout back foot slider in the dirt. Stevenson steps on home plate, and the inning comes to an end. 7 strikeouts tonight for Chase Burns. He threw a lot of pitches in the 4th inning. He loaded the bases, but the Mets do not score. To the bottom of the 4th we go. Reds 9, Mets 0 on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
Hey, baseball fans, it's game time. Gear up for the season with Key Food and their family of supermarkets. Your one-stop shop for all your game day essentials. Whether you're grilling up hot dogs or snacking on peanuts and popcorn, Key Food has you covered with a selection that never strikes out. Plus, as proud sponsors of Odyssey Mets Radio, Key Food and their family of supermarkets brings every thrilling moment straight to you. Key Food. The difference is key.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call.
Group.com.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Reds with a 9-0 lead. Jonathan Pintaro back to work against J.J. Bleday. First pitch breaking ball missed down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Reds 9, Mets nothing. First of 3 here in Cincinnati. Pintaro from the windup. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, slapped the opposite way, and down, a base hit. In front of Juan Soto. First hit of the night for J.J. Bleday. He's on board for the 2nd time tonight. Bases loaded, walk back in the 2nd. That scored a run. That gave the Reds a 9-0 lead at that point. It was the final batter that Tobias Myers faced. Now here's Sal Stewart, who's been aboard twice. He has scored 2 runs. He's driven in a run. He bats with a runner at first base. First pitch from Pintaro. At the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. And Sal Stewart at 250, 13 homers, now with 43 RBIs. That ties him for the most RBIs by a rookie in Major League Baseball. The 0-1. Swinging a fly ball to the gap in right center field. Ewing over. Makes the catch. 1 away. Spencer Steer next to the plate. Scoreboard update brought to you by the New York Lottery. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Washington behind a 3-run home run by Dylan Cruz leads Kansas City 7-3. JT Realmuto has homered for Philadelphia. 2nd straight game with a home run. Phillies lead the Marlins 5-0. Here's Spencer Steer. First pitch. Swinging a soft ground ball to first. Young charges, fields. Couple of steps to the bag, gets there ahead of Steer for the out. 2 away, Eugenio Suarez next. Scoreless game in St. Louis. Dustin May is not allowed to hit through 4 innings against the Padres. And here is Eugenio Suarez. What a game he has had. 2-run home run in the first, grand slam in the second. Now he bats with a runner at second base. And 2 outs. First pitch. Called strike, it's 0-1. He hit a 3-2 cutter from Pintaro to left center field off the canopy above the bullpen. Pintaro sets from the belt, checks second, kicks home. Swing and a miss. Counts 0-2. For Suarez in his career, he has a 4-home run game and a pair of 3 home run games. Last season, hit 4 home runs against Atlanta for Arizona. Pintaro's 0-2. Strike 3 called, got him looking, froze him with a breaking ball, and Suarez retired for the first time tonight. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left in scoring position for Cincinnati, and for the first time tonight, Jonathan Pintaro has retired Eugenio Suarez. We'll go to the 5th. Reds 9, Mets nothing on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Here's the thing. Want to be the grandparent who bolted to the burbs or the cool relative still living in NYC? The city that people come to be at the center of everything. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy has the tools, agents, and guidance to make you a forever New Yorker too. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow, Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
Hey, baseball fans, it's game time. Gear up for the season with Key Food and their family of supermarkets. Your one-stop shop for all your game day essentials. Whether you're grilling up hot dogs or snacking on peanuts and popcorn, Key Food has you covered with a selection that never strikes out. Plus, as proud sponsors of Odyssey Mets Radio, Key Food and their family of supermarkets brings every thrilling moment straight to you. Key Food. The difference is key.
Imagine a city field at sunset. The air smells like a fresh popcorn. And work.
Top of the 5th inning, Mets trail the Reds 9-0. Pace of the game brought to you by Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber. Well, Chase Burns, Keith, had been in cruise control, but he had to throw a lot of pitches in the 4th inning that slowed things down.
Yeah, he's got 76 as he takes them out of the 5th. First one to Melendez. Swing and a miss at a slider. 0-1 on MJ Melendez, who struck out his first time up. 1 of 7 strikeouts for Chase Burns. Burns' career high is 10. Infield is back and around to the right. The windup and the 0-1. Just missed away with 98. 1 ball and 1 strike. Behind Melendez, Alvarez, and then Benj. So 8, 9, and 1 in the order. Burns with that red jersey top, turns his feet, deals the 1-1. Skips it up there, and it is 2 balls and a strike. Now the Reds, different home top tonight. Usually, of course, teams wear home whites, but they're in the alternate. They also asked somebody else to bring out the lineup card tonight instead of Terry Francona. First game of a series, go over the ground rules. Usually the manager's out there. He was not out there. 2-1. Fouled back to the screen, and it's 2-2. There's no science to it, but the Reds have been trying to change the mojo in whatever way that they can do that. And, well, whatever they had for breakfast this morning, or if they walked on that side of the street today or took this way to work, it's working. They're up 9-0 in the top of the 5th. They have lost 8 of 10 and 12 of 16. Season worst, 4 games under 500, but they have a massive lead tonight. 2-2 on Melendez. A pitch from Burns. Drops low with a slider. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the way that the last series went for the Mets, catching the Atlanta Braves at kind of the right time. It's all about timing in a 162-game season. Braves a little bit battered, a little bit injured. Take two or three from them. Payoff pitch. Scoop foul out of play. Just reached for the outside corner and swatted it away. 3-2 it stays on Melendez. And then coming into this series, you never know on a Burns night what you're going to see, but the Reds generally have been struggling, so this would have been catching the Reds at the right time. 3-2. Fouled away again by Melendez on that uppercut swing, and it's still 3-2. And again, it is a big deficit right now, but the Mets will have 2 more games to play after tonight. Tomorrow, Brady Singer, Nick Lodolo on Wednesday. Here's the 83rd pitch of the night. Check swing, breaking ball low, look to third. No swing, ball 4. Leadoff walk for Melendez. So Mets chasing 9. Have the leadoff man on, and Francisco Alvarez coming up in this 5th inning. Sponsored by Elec 825. Building our future. I mentioned that is the future setup for the Mets. Night game tomorrow, day game Wednesday, and then off to Philadelphia. Here's Alvarez, who has grounded out tonight. First pitch, swing and a miss. Went chasing for that slider down in the dirt. And the count 0-1. Burns with the 4th lowest ERA in baseball has lowered it even further now to 2.03. But the 3 guys ahead of them that we told you about, Mizorowski and Sanchez and Schlittler, all have ERAs that start in the 1s. But for Burns, doing it at such a young age, just his 2nd major league season, he only was drafted in 2024, 2 summers ago. 0-1 to Alvarez. Burns holds the set and delivers. Missed outside, slider. 1 ball and 1 strike. Guy on deck's also out of the 2024 draft. That is Carson Benj. Burns was taken 2nd overall, and Benj taken 19th. The 1-1. Popped up. Foul territory, first base side. Steer a look up to that sunset sky. It's back in the red crowd. Had a nice catch by a young fan who brought his glove. And he stands up, and somebody next to him takes a picture. I think he knows who that lady is. It would be a little bit strange if he didn't. But he posed, so I think that's Aunt Sheila or somebody next to him. 1-2 on Alvarez. 9-0 Cincinnati. We're in the top of the 5th. The 1-2. Hit hard toward the middle and past the diving Arroyo, going into center. Melendez gets to 2nd and stops there. So Alvarez has the 3rd Met hit of the night. The first 2 belong to Bo Bichette, so somebody else finally stepping in the pool here. And the Mets once again have built a little something against Chase Burns. They had bases loaded and 1 out in the 4th inning. Semien popped out, Beatty struck out. And you love to get, again, something. Because who knows? 87 pitches for Burns. This is probably his last inning. And the Reds' bullpen has been a nightmare. Pitch to Benj. Misses up high. Fastball. And it's 1-0. But again, in that 2024 draft, it's actually turned out some big leaguers already. 11 of the first 20 guys drafted in 24, which was only 2 summers ago, are already big leaguers, including the first overall pick, Travis Bazzana. 1-0. Check swing. Benj went around. Pitch was in there anyway, and it's 1-1. Nick Kurtz is doing huge things with the A's. Jack Caglione. J.J. Weatherholt, who the Mets just saw with St. Louis. Connor Griffin in Pittsburgh. Treyas Savage, what a year he had last year for Toronto. The 1-1. Benj lines it foul to the left, and it's 1-2. You don't really see guys get to the big leagues that quickly.
A lot of those guys are college guys, high-level college guys. That's what makes what Connor Griffin is doing so impressive. And he's a high school kid out of that draft.
Yeah, what is he, 19? He's in social studies last year. 2 on, nobody out, the 1-2. Benj lines one in the air toward left, along the line. Blade over, makes the catch. It hung up. And the runners go back. Melendez at 2nd, Alvarez at 1st. Bo Bichette has had a big night coming up. I remember in the minor leagues, I'm sitting there in Vermont, up in Burlington, great town, but just I think it was the Centennial Field, the oldest ballpark in America, older than Wrigley, older than Fenway, 1903. That was during draft weekend when the A's drafted Kyler Murray. And I'm going, I don't think he's coming here. Pitch to Bichette in the dirt, blocked by Stevenson. That keeps the runners at 1st and 2nd. Vermont was an A's affiliate. Oakland had drafted Kyler Murray. And I was watching as the draft was happening. I'm looking at this top prospect high school pick that they had at the time, I forget the name, he's just taking ground ball after ground ball after ground ball. And I'm thinking, this kid's got years before anybody knows his name. You think Kyler Murray is going to go to play pro baseball? He'll be in the NFL in a couple of weeks. 1-0. Bichette tags one up the middle. Base hit going into center field. Melendez stopped and now goes to third on Bichette's single up the middle. So for Bichette, it's his third hit of the night. The bases are loaded with one out. I don't know why Melendez stopped to turn and look to make sure the ball wasn't caught. It was a low line drive up the middle. So instead of scoring, the bases are loaded. I mean, they're down 9-0. You don't have to push it, but it would have been nice to grab a run there. Soto's coming up anyway. So Bichette having another huge night. This is the night that the Mets dreamed about when they signed him. Here's Soto. One swing changes this game. Pitch in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, in a 9-0 game, you don't want to get thrown out at the plate, obviously. That run means nothing. You need base runners. So not scoring isn't the worst thing. It was just the sequence in which Melendez didn't score that was strange.
He started running halfway and then stopped and looked behind him. The 1-0 from Burns. Missed up high. 2 balls and no strikes. Burns is at 95 pitches. Brock Burke, a lefty, is up. You've got, of course, Soto, a lefty now, but then lefties Young and Ewing behind him. Third battle here. The 2-0. Fouled back. That was a pretty good swing on a heater, and it's 2-1. I say third battle. Burns won the first one against Soto. Struck him out, and actually it was quite an undressing of an at-bat against Juan Soto, the great Juan Soto. Juan came right back in the fourth and walked. Good young power pitcher against Soto. The 2-1. Breaking ball bends to the outside corner. Snap that one in. 2-2. Mets are chasing 9. It's a huge task, but they've got a great setup right here. 5th inning. Bases loaded, 1 out. Soto up, and he calls for time as he steps out and swats away a potential bug that might be in front of home plate. Soto and Mark Wegner talking now. We can't really see the little gnats from up here, but I don't know if Juan wanted time and tried to sell it, but he got it anyway. Burns winds and deals the 2-2. Swing and a high pop. This is on the infield. Infield fly is on. Steer down from first and foul ground. Makes the catch. Soto's out, and there are 2 away. Here comes Jared Young. Terry Francona at 9-0 is going to let Burns at 98 pitches face another one here. But he got Soto to chase up in the zone and pop him up.
It's probably his last batter, you would think. They don't want their young prospect, or at this point no longer a prospect, but still a young ace, throw too many pitches. But you also want him to qualify for the win if you can and just get as many outs as you possibly can out of him.
Pitch to Young. Bounces up there. Gets behind Stevenson. But the runners hold. That's ball 1.
We talked about it when the Reds were at Citi Field a couple of weeks ago. We've touched on it tonight. It has been a rough go of things for the Reds bullpen of late. You don't want to leave anything up for grabs.
Here's the 100th pitch of the night from Burns. Young drives it to deep right center field. Long run for Dunn toward the track. Makes the running catch. Crossing onto the track in a little leap as he crossed the grass to the track. Hauls it in to end the inning. Mets leave the bases loaded for the 2nd consecutive inning. And we go to the bottom of the 5th in Cincinnati. 9-0 Reds on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Here's the thing. Want to be the grandparents who bolted to the burbs, or the cool relatives still living in NYC? The city that people come to be at the center of everything. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy has the tools, agents, and guidance to make you a forever New Yorker too. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. StreetEasy is an assumed name of Zillow, Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's BYRNA, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
From first call to final invoice, Service Titan is the only integrated intelligent.
Now is the perfect time to get a Peerless Boiler. Don't wait. Go to peerlessboilers.com for more information and an installer near you. Remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers. Well, things certainly have gotten hot for the Mets in this first game of a 3-game set. They're down 9-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Noelvi Marte, Matt McLain, Tyler Stevenson against Jonathan Pintaro, who came on in the second inning and is stretching out as far as he can go. He's at 42 pitches. Tobias Myers was the opener of this bullpen game. He got 4 outs, gave up 7 runs on 4 hits, and Pintaro's given up the other 2 runs. Del Marte, who's 0 for 2, will bat to lead off this 5th inning. And Marte has had kind of a tough entertainment night. Pitch, chopped foul off his foot, and it's 0-1. Ever hear somebody give a speech or a great comedian, and then the next person after that person killed comes down and goes, how am I supposed to follow this? Well, that's kind of the night Noelvi Marte has had. He is batted behind both of Eugenio Suarez's home runs. Here's the 0-1. Missed outside with a breaking ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. The first inning, Reds had already scored. They had a couple of guys on base, battling around. Suarez hits this big home run, and then Marte strikes out. That was in the first inning. The 1-1, up and in, missed with a heater. 2 balls and a strike. Then Suarez's second at bat in the second inning when he brought the house down with a grand slam to make it 9-0. Well, Marte came out and flew out to right to once again end the inning. He's done it twice tonight. Here's the 2-1. Grounded to short. Bichette to his left, scoops it up. One fell swoop, fires across to get him. So Marte grounds out. Mets have a little bullpen action. Pat, who's out there?
Yeah, David Peterson's up and throwing, and in a 9-0 game, 1 out in the 5th inning. Pintaro's already thrown 46 pitches. Carlos Mendoza said earlier today this is really the first day that David Peterson is available out of the pen. And they might just ask him to go out there and get as many outs as he possibly can.
1 out in the 5th. Here's McLain. 9-0 Reds. First pitch, sprayed foul to the right. That was a 90-mile-an-hour cutter, high-speed pitch, sponsored by Spectrum. Fiber-powered internet, the most reliable internet you can count on. McLain a walk, a hit by pitch, a stolen base, and a run scored. Good night for the fantasy owners of these Reds. Here's the 0-1. Pintaro's cutter misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. You know, Peterson was potentially the bulk guy today. Of course, they did the Myers opener. David has been just going through it right now on the mound. Here's the 1-1. Fouled back to the screen, 1 and 2. The question is he going to start again? Is he going to be the bulk guy again? They have kind of put him on the back burner for that. And then you get the news that Christian Scott gets hurt, so he's out of the rotation. The Mets have 2 starters right now. That's the way it feels. With Freddie Peralta and Nolan McLain. Clay Holmes is hurt. Sean Manaea may have worked himself back to his old ways in the starting rotation. Pintaro's 1-2. McLain nubs one, foul up the first baseline, picked up by former Met Colin Cowgill, the first base coach. He chucks it into the crowd. Well, it's 1-2 still on McLain. But again, Senga will pitch tomorrow. McLain, the other one, Nolan, the Mets one, will pitch on Wednesday. Here's the 1-2 to the Reds, McLain. That's popped up behind home plate, right under our booth and downstairs. But starting pitching has been a key part of why the Mets are where they're at, trying to recover from a tough start. They are 32-39, 7 games under right now, this point of the season. 1-2 again in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Poor offensive performance to begin. You lose 12 straight in April. Then the injuries started to pile up. But really through all of that was banking on guys like Manaea and Peterson to be your starters. The Mets have had to have bullpen games out of necessity. Pintaro's 2-2. Strike 3 called, slipped it in there at 95. Well, McLean down on strikes. 53 pitches for Pintaro. Let's see if Mendy's going to get a little greedy here. Ask him to get one more. 9-0 Reds. We're in the 5th. It's about not only covering as many innings and outs as you can, but saving yourself for tomorrow. The Mets will have an off day on Friday in Philly, so you have to play 3 more games after tonight before you give everybody a blow. Pitch to Stevenson. Pintaro drops a breaking ball a little too far in. Sweeper missed, and it's 1-0.
And with Kodai Senga going tomorrow, there's just no guarantee of what you're going to get out of him. A, he's coming back from an injury. B, he's just been so inconsistent beforehand.
The 1-0. Stevenson claps one in the air to left. Soto in a couple of steps. Makes the catch to end the inning. So Pintaro does have a 1-2-3, and we go to the 6th. Still 9-0 Reds. We go to the 6th in Cincinnati on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
Here's the thing. Want to be the grandparent who bolted to the burbs, or the cool relative still living in NYC? The city that people come to be at the center of everything. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy has the tools, agents, and guidance to make you a forever New Yorker, too. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow, Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
First, I take a sabbatical, then do absolutely nothing.
Glorious. But what? You'd win the New York lottery, then do nothing?
Well, I'd also commission a cutting-edge mobile bed, so I never stop doing nothing, even when I leave my house.
Okay, but how can you do even less?
Well, I'll spend 6 months living with a Honduran capuchin monkey troupe to learn how to pick things up with my feet, so I never have to lift a finger again.
Oh, you'll be a hit at dinner parties. New York Lottery. Can you imagine? Play today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Hey, baseball fans, it's game time. Gear up for the season with Key Food and their family of supermarkets. Your one-stop shop for all your game day essentials. Whether you're grilling up hot dogs or snacking on peanuts and popcorn, Key Food has you covered with a selection that never strikes out. Plus, as proud sponsors of Odyssey Mets Radio, Key Food and their family of supermarkets brings every thrilling moment straight to you. Key Food. The difference is key.
In baseball, matchups matter. And with Red Pocket Mobile, you get to make the call. Red Pocket Mobile gives you a choice of access on 3 major 5G networks.
Mets Radio.
The MLB Journey to 30 sweepstakes presented by T-Mobile is the ultimate MLB fan bucket list. Visit MLB.com/Journey to 30 sweeps for your chance to win trips to all 30 ballparks. Well, we are one of the lucky few that get a chance to finish off all 30 ballparks in 2 years with the way the schedule is all figured out.
I got one left, and I saved the best for last.
Wait a minute. I can do this. Texas?
No. Best for last. Tropicana Field.
9-0 Reds. Here's A.J. Ewing against new pitcher Brock Burke. And the first pitch is grounded foul outside of first for strike 1. That's true. Well, the Trop, we haven't been to the Trop since 2024. Then the Trop lost its hat and didn't have any baseball there last year. They went to Steinbrenner Field at it's the Yankees spring training facility, but we'll be there July, September, some point in the second half of the season. We're in Cincinnati tonight. We know that. The pitch to Ewing, swing and a miss. Going to count 0-2
for just a classic matchup between the Mets and the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yep, that is on the docket.
Throw the records out.
Burke, the lefty, fires. Ewing spoils it foul right over the netting above the third base dugout. AJ is in our fifth batter spotlight, brought to you by Key Food. Look for all your favorite products at your local Key Food, and their family of supermarkets. So Chase Burns did his thing, 5 scoreless, 4 hits, struck out 7, walked 3. 0-2. Brock Burke misses high with 97. A little tennis grunt from Brock Burke, who has been out there a lot. 34 appearances. This is number 5. Most appearances in the National League. The 1-2. Ewing floats one in the air, off the end of the bat, shallow center. Dunn sprinting in, makes the running catch. He came in a slow jog into a run, into a sprint, and Ewing flies out. Marcus Semien coming up. Let's pause 10 seconds, station ID.
This is Odyssey Mets Radio on WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Alongside Pat McCarthy, my name is Keith Rad. We're in Cincinnati, top of the 6th, 9-0 Reds. Burke to Semien. Pitch misses high, 1 ball and no strikes. I mentioned that Brock Burke has made a lot of appearances. The Reds are one of the many teams that gives you a lot of historical statistics in their game notes, some of which are useful, others are not. The 1-0 misses outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Because right now Burke, as I'm told, is on pace to finish this season with a career-high 78 appearances, which would be tied for the 3rd most by a Reds lefty since 1900. The more you know. Here's the 2-0. Semien takes high, 3 balls and no strikes.
Well, who are the others?
I would have loved to have known that, but they don't accompany said note. But history is always a big thing here in Cincinnati. Pat talked about a day that no Met fan likes to talk about, which is one of the dark days in history. 3-0. Semien takes a strike, 3-1. Is that on this date, 1977. The old trade deadline was June 15th. That was the Seaver trade. This is the oldest pro baseball city in America. 3-1, swing and a miss to Semien, and it's 3-2. This is kind of where it all began for baseball. Speaking of June 15th, they started here June 15th, 1869. 3-2 to Semien is outside, so Burke walks him. A 1-out free pass, and Brett Beatty is coming up. Well, the Reds used to be the team that would start every season opening day. That was a tradition that is now since gone. But I shouldn't lose the fact that this was the beginnings of baseball, the beginnings of the National League. We're here, right out of the Civil War, right here in Cincinnati. We're on the banks of the Ohio at Great American Ballpark. Here's Beatty, left on left with Burke. Pitch in for a strike, 0-1. Today is also the date, going back to the 30s. Johnny Vandermeer threw the second of his 2 no-hitters back-to-back. No one's ever done that since. Johnny Vandermeer did it against the Boston Braves. Came right back out. There was another no-hitter against the Dodgers. 0-1 fouled away, and it's 0-2. And the Reds at one time in the 1800s were actually kicked out of the National League. Kicked to the curb.
Gone.
Thanks for coming. You were a pioneer, but you're gone. They had the audacity to play games on Sundays and serve beer. Well, that's just not going to fly. That's the way it was back in 1880, 1870, when those things were kicking
rules,
around.
Keith.
Runner at first base, 1 out, 9-0 Reds. Pitch to Beatty, misses high with a fastball, and it's 1-2.
Just the punishment fits the crime.
Beatty and then Melendez here with 1 out. Burke's 1-2. Strike 3 called. Got him looking on the outside corner with 98. 3rd strikeout for Beatty tonight, who the Braves couldn't get him out at all yesterday. And he's 0 for 3 with 3 punch-outs tonight. 2 outs. MJ Melendez will be pinch hit for. And instead of the lefty against the lefty, they'll get Mark Vientos in there to bat against the lefty. Had a lot of sparse starting time for Vientos. Just simply not been playing well enough. And the Mets have not seen a ton of lefty starters. That's also part of it. But Jared Young's been hitting, so Jared Young's been playing. And Vientos has getting in there. He did start DH game in San Diego when the Mets were out there. Not this weekend, but the last weekend. 9-0 Reds. Pitch to Vientos. Pins the knees on the outside corner with 97, and it's 0-1. For Mark, hitting .212, 7 homers and 27 RBIs. Semien off first, and time called by Vientos. Jorge Polanco was put on the 60-day injured list today. That's really more paperwork to free up a roster spot. Talk about the first base conversation. Here's the 0-1. Vientos lines it to shallow right. That's a base hit for Mark. Semien goes to second as Marte fires in. So a pinch hit single for Vientos. And the Mets will bring Alvarez to the plate, down 9-0 with 2 outs in the 6th inning. Polanco, and he asked Carlos Mendoza, again, the response kind of has been the same, but it's usually the look on Carlos's face that tells you all you need to know about how close somebody might be to coming back. Carlos is kind of giving off vibes that it's still going to be a while for Polanco. It's been one of the more frustrating injuries the Mets have dealt with all season, and they've dealt with plenty. Pitch. Alvarez sends a high fly to center. This is deep. Dunn going back onto the track, slows down near the wall and makes the catch. So Alvarez flies out. Mets strand 2 more. They have stranded 9 men tonight and trail 9-0 going to the last of the 6th in Cincy on Odyssey Mets Radio. Powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
If you're still using a sports book to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's BYRNA, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality.
We go to the last of the 6th inning in Cincinnati, a night that has belonged to the Reds, as Marty Brenneman likes to say, to punctuate every Reds win. Not over yet, but it is 9-0 Cincinnati, and David Peterson comes on after 3 2/3 of relief for Jonathan Pintaro, who was charged with 2 of the 9. The first 7 given up by Tobias Myers. Peterson, who we had thought would play a part in this game, plays probably a different role than he anticipated. He'll face Arroyo batting right. First pitch, missed up high, 1 ball and no strikes. And Myers to Pintaro to Peterson. Here's the 1-0 to Arroyo. Popped up over the first base dugout, and it sails into the seats. That's 1 ball and 1 strike. Peterson did pitch on the last homestand. That was against St. Louis with an opener. Huáscar Brazoban set it up. And then Peterson let St. Louis in with 6 runs in 3 2/3. It has been a shake-your-head type season for Peterson. He just can't seem to find consistency. The 1-1 missed outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Arroyo, Dunn, Blade, the hitters that are due up. 2-1 to Edwin Arroyo. in at the knees with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 2-2. Now, Peterson, of course, left-handed, and Madge has his trusty list again. The 2-2. Grounded to second. Simeon creeps in, fields and fires. Got him, one away. I mentioned tongue-in-cheek, or wise guy-ish, that Brock Burke is on pace to finish the 2026 season with a career-high 78 appearances, which would be tied for third most by a Reds left-handed pitcher in a season since 1900. Well, Madge has found that list.
Good.
The hypothetical list that Brock Burke would join. First pitch to Dunn is high for ball one. Again, he's not on the list yet, but if it ended up that way,
he's trending there.
He would be tied with Rob Murphy. There's the 1-0. Fouled off at home plate, 1-1.
I didn't know you knew Murph.
Who did it in 1988 76 times, but he's also the king of the castle. Rob pitched 87 times for the 87 Reds. 1987. You have to say that because there was an 1887 Reds. 1-1. Dunn takes a strike at the knees, and it's 1-2. If you're wondering, it is 9-0 Cincinnati. Bill Bray did it in 2011, 79 appearances. Kent Merker in 2005 did it 78 times. But here's a name you do know. John Franco did it with the Reds in 1986. 74 appearances for Johnny. There's the 1-2 to Dunn. Fouled off at home plate. I think Alvarez is saying he didn't foul it off, but he's got to tag him. I don't think he's tagged him. He's asking for a challenge. What is he asking to challenge here?
I don't really know. Well, Carlos is heading out to get an explanation from Mark Wegner.
The ball popped out of Alvarez's glove, and Wegner is now saying it was a foul ball anyway. And again, it's 2 strikes. The ball hits the dirt. The batter can run, but Alvarez was supposed to put the tag on, didn't end up doing it. So anyway, it's 1-2 on Dunn with Blade on deck. Peterson into the windup, deals the 1-2. And it's bounced over the mound towards second. Nice backhand by Simeon, who plants, fires to first, close, and they got him. Simeon had to go quickly because that ball took a little time to get up the middle, but enough time to zing it over there and get Dunn for the second out. We're coming live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly. So I told you about Johnny Franco, 1986. He was not a member of the Mets 86 team, but he did pitch here in Cincinnati, and he was part of that famous brawl game that the Mets had with the Reds. Pitch to Blade is a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. Was it Eric Davis at third base with Ray Knight? Dave Parker was in that game. That was a ball that was dropped by Parker. It was a whole thing that night. 1-0. In for a strike, 1-1. But some of us from the 90s babies who remember Johnny as only a Met closer, well, he was in Cincinnati for a very long time. 1-1 to Blade. Hit hard to third. Gloved on 2 hops by Beatty. Sets and fires. In time, inning over. David Peterson calms things down a bit with a 1-2-3 inning, his first in relief. And we go to the 7th in Cincinnati. 9-0 Reds on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
Hey, baseball fans, it's game time. Gear up for the season with Key Food and their family of supermarkets. Your one-stop shop for all your game day essentials. Whether you're grilling up hot dogs or snacking on peanuts and popcorn, Key Food has you covered with a selection that never strikes out. Plus, as proud sponsors of Odyssey Mets Radio, Key Food and their family of supermarkets brings every thrilling moment straight to you. Key Food. The difference is key.
Imagine a city feel at sunset. The air smells like a fresh popcorn. And just when you think this is the best, Francisco Albert hit the homer, that's me. And you win $15,000. Can you imagine?
The pitch? It's gone! With the New York Lottery's Swing for the Fences promotion, you can win $15,000 when the Mets hit a home run in the bottom of the 4th. Enter with New York Lottery Plus today, and you also get a chance at a grand prize of $40,000. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
In baseball, matchups matter. And with Red Pocket Mobile, you get to make the call. Red Pocket Mobile gives you a choice of access on 3 major 5G networks, so you can choose the signal that works best wherever you go. Whether you're at the ballpark, the city, or traveling across the country, Red Pocket Mobile has you covered. Visit redpocket.com to see why more Americans are switching to better wireless without paying more. Red Pocket Mobile is a proud sponsor of the Mets Radio Network. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can...
We go to the 7th inning in Cincinnati, first of 3, and it has been all Reds tonight. They have a 9-0 lead. The Mets will have the top of their order up, and a new pitcher coming in, Pat, lefty veteran Caleb Ferguson.
Yeah, he'll take on the top of the Mets order. Carson Benj, Bo Bichette, Juan Soto, with the Mets trailing 9-0. Yeah, the first pitch to Benj. Called strike at 0-1. Caleb Ferguson, 8 appearances this season, spent some time on the injured list. The 0-1. Fouled off down the left field line. The count's 0-2. 29 years old. Native of Columbus, Ohio. At the high school right around 90 miles or so outside of Cincinnati. The 0-2. Check swinging a ball up and in. Appeal to third. No offer. Counts no balls and 1 strike. And Ferguson's an interesting story. He pitched a long time with the Dodgers. They took him in the 38th round of the 2014 draft out of high school. 1-2. Swing a line drive the opposite way. Down, a base hit. First hit of the night for Benj. Mets have the leadoff man on to start the 7th inning. Trailing 9-0.
I want to put you on the spot. He went to high school outside of Columbus. Do you know exactly what town it was?
West Jefferson.
Okay.
Here's Bo Bichette. Well, you, of course, know the Ohio area.
A little bit. A little time at UD.
First pitch to Bichette. Cue shot foul, first base side, into the Reds dugout.
Well, you said he was born in Columbus. That is the Ohio State University territory. By the way, everybody in the state, 99% of them love the Buckeyes.
You know, it's funny. You said something earlier. You were talking about the breakdown of teams in the Ohio area. And it got me thinking to my one trip to Toledo, Ohio, which is the AAA affiliate of the Detroit Tigers, the Mudheads. The 0-1. Bichette pops it foul and out of play down the right field line. It's 0-2. That's only about 45 minutes or so, I believe, south of Detroit.
Very close.
You think those guys are all Tigers fans in that area? And my real question is, are they Michigan or Ohio State fans?
That's a good one. I mean, it's right there on the border.
Bichette with 3 hits tonight. Ferguson sets the 0-2. Fouled back. Still no balls and 2 strikes. So he is from West Jefferson, Ohio. Which looks like it's pretty much smack dab in the middle of the state.
Right near Columbus, yep.
Long hold for the letters, kicks home. Swing and a miss. Bichette down swinging for the first out in the 7th. 1 away. And Juan Soto next to the plate. Soto is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out, walked, and popped out. Take a look at the Soto home run counter. Juan Soto has 15 home runs this season. He has 259 for his career. Soto home run counter brought to you by Apple Bank. Banking with Apple Bank is a home run. Learn more at applebank.com. First pitch to Soto, taking all the way, called strike at 0-1. Yeah, but Ferguson was committed to go play at West Virginia for college ball. Mountaineers are in the College World Series for the first time ever. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Counts 0-2. But Ferguson had Tommy John surgery his senior year of high school. He was one of the top prep prospects coming out of that draft, but he slid all the way to the 38th round. Dodgers scooped him up, gave him $100,000, and he signed. Pitched a long time now in the big leagues.
I was going to say, I called him the veteran. You said he's only 29. I thought, wait a minute. But you're right. He got here quicker than most guys do.
Ready to go from the letters. Benjaw first. The 0-2. Off the plate away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Eric Wagaman has emerged in the on-deck circle, and he'll pinch hit for Jared Young. One ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch to Soto. Fouled back to the screen. Counts 1-2. Well, I mentioned the Mountaineers are playing in Omaha. Trip to the College World Series. Texas beat Alabama earlier today to eliminate the Crimson Tide. Oklahoma currently leads Georgia 4-3. Pool play double elimination. There was a weird one, though, earlier today in that Texas-Alabama game. Texas won 14-2. But the strange thing happened with Texas' shortstop named Alex Rodriguez.
Ooh.
He hit for the cycle. But in a weird way. Because he doubled in the first inning. Then in the second, he singled and went to third on a 2-base error. He would then single again in the 5th, homer in the 6th, and then later in the game, they changed the single 2-base error to a straight triple.
That's funny.
Ferguson ready from the letters. And the 1-2 pitch. Fouled back to the screen. Still 1-2.
How does that celebration go? Do they let him know in the dugout? And then
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know when in the game it was officially changed. One ball, 2 strikes, pitch. And the dirt. 2-2 on Soto. Top of the 7th inning, 9-0 Reds. Well, those are the scores in Omaha right now. 14-2 Longhorns. Told you the Oklahoma score. Let's check some other scores. Brought to you by Food Bazaar. Shop local, eat global. Now, if you're wondering what's going on in St. Louis with Dustin May, well, the perfecto has come and gone. Still tossing a shutout. 3-0 Cardinals over the Padres. 2-2. Missed up and away, but a challenge by Tyler Stevenson.
Pitcher called the ball.
Soto giving him a look and talking to him. Saying, you better not ring me up here, Tyler Stevenson. And it was a ball. Let's see. Oh, boy, this is tight, less than 0.1 inches. And Soto's going to let him know.
Well, it counts 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Look at the smile he has on his face, Juan Soto. They're down 9-0, and he's taking pitches less than 0.1 inches. That's how into every at-bat he is.
Payoff pitch. Check swinging a ball down and away. He did not go. He's walked for the 2nd time tonight. And the Mets have 1st and 2nd with 1 away in the 7th inning. And Eric Wagaman will pinch hit for Jared Young. We were telling you about Dustin May. He had a perfect game for St. Louis going into the 6th inning. Fernando Tatis Jr. worked a walk, and then Manny Machado, 2 batters later, singled. May has thrown 7 shutout innings. Some other scores, speaking of shutouts, the Phillies are shutting out Miami 7-0. Zach Wheeler was brilliant for Philadelphia. 6 innings, 2 hits, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts against a Marlins team that might be 500, but in the month of June is the best team in baseball. Clayton McCullough's squad's won 10 games. Cubs are trying to get right. Pete Crow Armstrong's led off their game against the Rockies with a home run. It's 1-0 Cubbies in the 5th. Here's Wagaman, pinch hitting with 1st and 2nd. Takes the first pitch down and in. 1 ball, no strikes.
I think PCA is also on cycle watch. He's a single away. He went homer, triple, double, and looking for a single.
1-0 to Wagaman. Takes a pitch off the plate away. Counts 2 balls, no strikes. Eric is 1 for 6 in his Mets tenure. The one was a home run. First and second, 1 away, 2-0. It's inside, 3 balls, no strikes. Again, if you're Terry Francona, it's a 9-0 game. It's the first game of a series. And one of the more reliable lefties in your pen's about to throw his 20th pitch. It's high for ball 4. Back-to-back walks, and the bases are full.
Remember, the Mets have had the bases, they've left the bases loaded in this game twice. They've had 9 men left on base all night, so it's not as if it's been all Reds and the Mets have gone down without a whimper here. They just have not had any big hit once they've been able to build some traffic.
Now here's A.J. Ewing. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Bases full, 9-0 Reds, 7th inning. Pitch. At the knees for a strike, it's 0-1. Marcus Semien on deck. Bench the runner at third, Soto's the runner at second, Wagaman the runner at first. All 3 lead off, none being held on. Ferguson from the letters, kicks home. Top of the zone for a strike, and Ewing challenges.
Looks like I might have been a little high.
Pitch is called a strike, the hitter's challenge.
And it was. So Ewing wins the challenge.
The Soto one was 0.1 inches high. This is 1.5 inches high.
Ferguson's already thrown 22 pitches in this inning. The bases are full. There's just 1 away. 1-1 to Ewing. Down and away. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, I mentioned the Reds bullpen has been brutal. The bullpen alone, dead last in walks per 9, dead last in whip.
2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Challenge to the 92, top of the zone. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And again, this is a night that was started by Chase Burns, who is the ace of this Red staff. Brady Singer goes tomorrow. Nick Lodolo goes on Wednesday. Reds bullpen might need to cover a lot of innings in this series. 2-2. Missed outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And that one just missed. But now the count's full, 3-2. This will be the 26th pitch of the inning. Bases are full. Ferguson's payoff. Swing a ground ball, foul. Third base side. Still 3-2. Ewing has walked once tonight. That was against Chase Burns in the 4th. He has also popped out and flied out. He led off the 6th inning against Brock Burke with a flyout. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Ferguson sets, drives home. Strike 3 called, got him looking. Ewing down on strikes. Terry Francona is out of the Reds' first base dugout. Caleb Ferguson has thrown 27 pitches. Marcus Semien is coming up, a right-hander. And Tito's going to go to the pen. This call to the bullpen's brought to you by the New York Lottery. Play today and start imagining your win.
Your home deserves details that last. That's why Riverhead Building Supply offers Versatex PVC trim, the perfect choice for crisp, clean lines that stand up to the elements. Versatex is low maintenance, resistant to moisture, insects, and rot, and delivers the high-end look you've imagined. And with Riverhead's expert guidance and dependable service, upgrading is simple. Ready for what's next? Visit a local Riverhead Building Supply or learn more at rbscorp.com.
You can count on our friends at Ridgewood Savings Bank to show you the community banking difference with cutting-edge conveniences and a century-long tradition of award-winning service. Ridgewood is the financial partner you can count on today, tomorrow, and all the years to come. Whether you prefer to bank at your local neighborhood branch, from home, or on the go, they're always here to help you reach your goals. Let our friends at Ridgewood be the full-service banking partner you can count on to support you in your financial journey. Visit ridgewoodbank.com to find out more. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener, like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV, but if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to you at a campsite plays acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
New pitcher for the Reds. It's right-hander Chase Petty. Takes over for lefty Caleb Ferguson. Petty, the 23-year-old, he's the 7th overall prospect in the Reds system. Former first-round pick of the Minnesota Twins at a Mainland high school down on the Jersey Shore. And he'll face Marcus Semien, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. Petty inherits the bases loaded with 2 outs in a 9-0 game. First pitch. Breaking ball, swinging a soft ground ball to second. Arroyo charges, throws to first, in time for the out. Semien retired on 1 pitch, and so are the Mets in the 7th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Mets leave them loaded for the 3rd time tonight. Stretch time here in Cincinnati. The Reds lead the Mets 9-0 on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Hey, baseball fans, it's game time. Gear up for the season with Key Food and their family of supermarkets. Your one-stop shop for all your game day essentials. Whether you're grilling up hot dogs or snacking on peanuts and popcorn, Key Food has you covered with a selection that never strikes out.
8 Hope NY.
David Peterson back to work in the 7th inning, and his first pitch to Sal Stewart, a strike. It's 0-1. Peterson's second inning of work set the Reds down in order in the 6th. The 0-1. Down low. 1 ball, 1 strike on Sal Stewart, who's had a big night. It's 1 for 2, 2 runs scored and an RBI. The 1-1. Hit foul at home plate. That one got Alvarez. Yeah, the count's 1-2 on Stewart. Stewart, who was the 32nd overall pick back in 2022, had been committed to Vanderbilt. Peterson's 1-2. Swinging a sharp ground ball to third. Backhanded by Beatty. Long throw across the diamond. Picked by Wagaman in time for the out. One away.
A great job by Beatty. I think that bounced twice on its way over to first. He planted deep and stopped for a moment, knowing, okay, who's the runner here? I have a little extra look to maybe get a little more force on it, keep it low, and whack him in. Nice job over at first base.
One out. Spencer Steer next. 4 in a row for Peterson to start the night. First pitch. Breaking ball. Missed. 1 ball, no strikes. We're coming to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly. 9-0 Reds, 7th inning. Peterson working from the windup, kicks home. Drops in a breaking ball for a strike to Steer. Counts 1-1 for a couple of Oregon Ducks. One. Up and away. 2 balls and a strike, separated by a couple of years. Peterson, 31 years old. Spear, 28 years old. Steer was drafted in 2019. 2-1. Inside. 3 balls and a strike. The Mets took David 2 years earlier in 2017. 3-1 pitch fouled back to the screen. Counts full 3-2.
Part of those two guys were together. Ryan Nelson as well was there. He was with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Mets have faced him a bunch.
Three balls and 2 strikes. Peterson's payoff. Inside, off the glove of Alvarez, back to the backstop. And a 1-out walk. Eugenio Suarez is next. 2 home runs, including a grand slam. Steer and Peterson played 1 season together in 2017 at Eugene. First pitch to Suarez, fouled off and out of play. Counts 0-1. I think there's a school out there that has an easier job recruiting than Oregon. Here's all the Nike apparel you could ever ask for. The 0-1. Suarez swings and misses. It's 0-2.
I think, too, David Peterson has 2 children. The first one, his son, I think his middle name is Eugene because he and his wife met at school at Oregon. Nice ode.
Yeah. 0-2 to Suarez. Swing and a miss. And second time tonight, Suarez has gone down on strikes. 2 away. Welby Marte next. This copyrighted broadcast presented by the authority of the New York Mets. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Any accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Mets. I've never been to Eugene. I have been to Oregon State, Corvallis. First pitch to Marte. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Are they far from each other?
How far is such a relative term?
I mean, one side of the state and the other, or are they?
I think they're relatively close. 1-0. Check swing, but he went around. Yeah, the count's 1-1. I know we flew into Portland when we went to Corvallis. Eugene is pretty far south. One, 2. Or 1-1, I should say, is inside. It's 2 balls and a strike. If you want to leave now, it's going to take us 36 hours. I don't think we'll make it there by first pitch tomorrow. But Oregon State and Oregon are separated by only 52 minutes, so they can make it. 2-1. Hit foul off the netting first base side. It's 2-2.
Well, let's talk about expansion in MLB, and Portland is certainly on the list. We don't really know who are the front runners. We just know Portland is there, Salt Lake City is there, on the East Coast-ish, Newton, Nashville, then Charlotte is in the conversation, and then you can go to Montreal. But Portland is certainly up for grabs as a city for expansion. And, we were out to Seattle just a couple of weeks ago. They would welcome that so much if there was a team within 1 million miles of Seattle that they could fly to.
2-2 to Marte. Chopped foul behind home plate. Still 2-2. 9-0 Reds, bottom of the 7th inning. First of 3 here in Cincinnati. And the reason Keith's saying that is because Seattle doesn't have a true travel partner by any means. I mean, Denver, Sacramento, the 2 closest places for them. Steer the runner over at first after the 1-out walk. 2-2 to Marte. Grounded foul, third base side towards the Mets dugout. Still 2-2.
We just saw Wayne Randazzo doing the Friday game for Apple TV. Obviously, Wayne does Angels TV. That's the AL West. That's where the Mariners are. They have to fly to Texas to see both Houston and the Rangers. I mean, he said it's brutal for them. Brutal travel in that specific division.
Peterson's pitch counts up to 32. He steps off because the clock was about to expire. That's true. You don't even think about that. Astros and Rangers both in the West. 2-2. Swing a ground ball hit to second. Simeon has it. Flips to first. In time for the out. And David Peterson has a second consecutive shutout inning. Works around a 1-out walk. Strand Steer over at first. We go to the 8th. Reds with a 9-0 lead on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
I'd finally have time to reread my favorite fantasy book.
Dig deeper. We're imagining winning the New York Lottery here.
Okay, I'd build my own reading nook right where the sun hits.
You're getting warmer.
The French sun. I'll buy a villa in Marseille. Wait, what's the French word for sun?
I don't know, Kathy. You're the reader.
Okay, I'll hire a tutor to learn the French word for sun, then the words to negotiate real estate, then I'll buy my own French library.
And to think you just wanted to reread a book. New York Lottery. Can you imagine? Play today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
When you need help, you don't want to wait 9 innings. With Red Pocket Mobile, a real person answers in 2 minutes or less, by phone or chat. No long holds, no automated runaround. Just real customer support that's ready when you are. Visit redpocket.com to see why more Americans are switching to better wireless without paying more. Red Pocket Mobile is a proud sponsor of the Mets Radio Network. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is yes.
Reds with a 9-0 lead as we go to the 8th, Keith.
Chase Petty stays on. He threw one pitch to get out of the latest bases-loaded situation that the Mets have established for themselves without a key hit tonight. So they're down 9-0. They've had plenty of chances to chip away at it. Pitch to Beatty to lead it off. He swings and pops it up. Suarez coming down from third onto the grass, looks up to the night sky, makes the two-hand catch. And one pitch gets Beatty here. So Petty is working as quickly as it gets. 2 pitches and 2 outs. And Mark Vientos is coming up. Tonight's attendance brought to you by Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy. Sip the fruity, candy-coated chaos. 19,853 Ohioans here in Cincinnati. Pitch to Vientos. Floated in the air to center field. Dunn coming in. Makes the catch. Petty's thrown 3 pitches. He's gotten 3 outs.
This is economical, Chase.
Now for the Mets, some games that we've seen where they've been down big, late, the at-bats are not quite as competitive, long battles competitive as maybe other parts of the game. But the Met offense tonight has left a dozen men on. The Reds, they punched early. 3 in the first, 6 in the second. We haven't had a run in the game since. It's really been the Met offense that has been much more active than the Cincinnati offense. Here's Alvarez. Could he do it again? Petty? Here it comes. And Alvarez wisely takes a strike. You know why Alvarez took a strike? Because he's the guy that's got to catch the
Seriously.
He barely had time to get his gear off. Alvarez is single in 3 trips tonight. Petty's pitch. Rocking it out to center field. Dunn back a couple of steps, curls around and makes the catch. So Chase Petty has faced 4 batters. He's thrown 5 pitches. And the Mets go down without a whimper in the top of the 8th. 9-0 Reds, middle of 8 on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Hey, baseball fans, it's game time. Gear up for the season with Key Food and their family of supermarkets. Your one-stop shop for all your game day essentials. Whether you're grilling up hot dogs or snacking on peanuts and popcorn.
Mets Radio.
We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. The Reds have a 9-0 lead. Lights are on. Jet black night sky overhead. We are at the very far edge of the eastern time zone, so the sun sets much later out here than it does in New York. And so we had a pretty sunset, but now it is a full nighttime in Cincinnati. Mets have made a defensive change as David Peterson comes back out for another inning. Vidal Brujan goes out to left field. We don't really comment too much on what SNY has to show. We have the monitor here for replays. But there's a lady here of the 19,000 who is crocheting. You see that from time to time. Looks like she's crocheting.
I believe she's needle pointing.
Okay. Here's McLean, first pitch. In for a strike, 0-1. It's one of these little boards where she's working on a little craft. She has, we were talking about Toy Story 2 before. She's got like levels of these little glasses. 0-1 misses outside, 1-1. When the painter comes in to fix Woody, right, he flips down the glasses to magnify the look and get right in there. Well, that's what she was doing. There's the 1-1 to McLean. Misses up high. 2 balls and a strike.
Keith, without attention to detail, we have nothing.
I mean, this is perfect. What a perfect way to spend a Monday night in the summer in Cincinnati. 2-1. Peterson misses low. 3 balls and a strike. Is Alvarez going to challenge this?
He is.
Oh, no. He's going to ask for a... Oh, he is going to challenge this.
The ball, the catcher is challenging.
I mean, I don't think it was close. Let's see. This would be the last challenge for the Mets. And it was not close.
Call confirmed. New York has no challenges.
Certainly a peculiar challenge. 2.6 inches outside. That has been the most inaccurate challenge by a player tonight. 3-1 on McLean with Stevenson and Arroyo to follow. The pitch. Inside, he walked him. Now, Peterson came on in the 6th. He's been good. It's just the second base runner that he's allowed. Thrown 38 pitches. Both the base runners have been walks. And again, a big key part of this game is, yes, the Reds kicked the door down to this series with 9 early runs, but they haven't done anything really since. The last hit was in the 4th inning. And the last runners, of course, 6 of them came in the 2nd. Peterson to Stevenson. Swing and a miss at a changeup. 0-1. Speaking of how the Reds got their lead, Thrivewell Infusion brings us the thriving player of the game. Thrivewell Infusion, New York's premier infusion and ejection center. Schedule your appointment at thrivewellinfusion.com. Gino, the 0-1. Rocketed over short into left field. Stevenson has a base hit. Brujan, who's in for Soto, fires in. So that's the first Reds hit since the fourth. First and second now for Cincinnati, and Edwin Arroyo coming up. But Eugenio Suarez, Gino is his nickname here in Cincinnati. 2 homers, 6 RBIs. He is the thriving player of the game for the Reds.
I think that's
Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
You know, Chase Burns was good, 5 scoreless with 7 strikeouts. But Burns was not perfect. He had the bases loaded spot in the 4th inning. Mets with 1 out. Had the bases loaded. Semien popped out to the shortstop. Beatty struck out. Then Burns again in the 5th inning. Bases loaded, 1 out. Soto popped out in the infield. Young flew out. And again, the Mets have left a dozen men on base tonight. They are 1 for 12 with men in scoring position. And usually when you get a hit with men in scoring position, that means a run is coming in. Remember, it was first and second when Bo Bichette banged a single up the middle. MJ Melendez at second was running to third. We thought he was going to come around and score, but he turned back to see if someone was going to catch it, which was a very peculiar move. Pitch to Arroyo. Fouled off. Switch hitter batting right-handed. So 0-1 on the rookie, Edwin Arroyo. Now time to deliver the scores with the scoreboard update from Amazon Hub Delivery. Amazon Hub Delivery. Visit Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. 9-0 Reds in the 8th, the 0-1. Line to center field. Ewing chasing it back, makes the catch, squares and fires. And that's the first out of the inning. So Arroyo, 1 for 4 tonight. Top of the order coming up. The scores, top 5 in Houston. We're just talking about the American League West. Detroit, though, in the building has a 5-3 lead. Lots of home runs. Kevin McGonigal is having a great rookie season. His 5th. A guy named Keith has hit his 2nd. That would be Colt Keith. Spencer Torkelson with his 12th. Here's Dunn, who has a double tonight. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Good slider, 0-1. And then Houston has picked up a couple of homers. One from Isaac Paredes, his 10th, and Jose Altuve has hit his 7th.
Is he in the fraternity of Keiths with with the last name?
I don't know. That's even rarer than a first name Keith, I think. A last name Keith. 0-1. In for a strike, 0-2. I can't even tell you another celebrity politician with a last name Keith, right? Is there an obvious one that I'm missing? Bueller?
No, that was his last name.
2 on, 1 out, 9-0 Reds in the 8th. Peterson's 0-2. Skied toward left center field. Ewing trotting over, extends the arm to call it, makes the catch, and fires in. Toby Keith. Okay, thank you. This is why you're here. Well, there's other reasons why you're here. Well, I'm just Toby Keith. Thank you. I mean, that's in the perfect spot of obvious
I
missed.
I was annoyed with myself that it took that long.
I was wondering why you're hitting the table.
No,
yelling at me.
No. I was just upset that it took me that long.
Madge has hit us with a deep cut. Brian Keith, the actor from, what was that again? Family Affair. Bueller. There's Blade. Pitch is high and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, there is another Adele out there, but there's only one Joe Adele who has a double and an RBI for the Angels, who have a 1-0 lead in Arizona. Bottom of the first. 1-0. Blade takes outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Family Affair. We're going to have to put that one on the list. It's a growing list. Every time I walk into this booth, I've got homework.
That's a show. It's not a movie. I'm just learning this myself.
That means more work.
Yeah, 1966.
2-0. Blade cracks it to deep right. Bench back. He's onto the track. He's at the wall. He jumps. And it's gone. It lands in the front row for a J.J. Blade 3-run home run. They hit him early, they've hit him late, and they've hit the Mets for a 12-0 lead in the bottom of the 8th in Cincinnati. Bench went up, valiant effort. I think it landed in the front row. Benj came down with an empty glove, and Bleday has found his 13th home run of the year and the second one against the Mets in 2026. Here's Sal Stewart batting right. First pitch. Missed outside. 1 ball and no strikes. I was told an old legend that I don't even know if it's official or if it's written down or if it was caught on tape. Pitch to Stewart is grounded foul, and it's 1-1. But we're talking about movies. I think it was Jim Leland who once said, baseball, it's like a movie. You walk in, sometimes you're on the edge of your seat. And then sometimes 5 minutes in, you realize, let's just leave. The next pitch is low, and it's 2 balls and a strike. And this is one of those, for the Mets, is a can we go home now kind of games. It's 12-0 Reds in the 8th. 2-1 on Stewart. The windup in the pitch. At the knees called strike, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, it was one of those games that in the second inning, when it becomes 9-0, it's just you recognize that it would be a monumental comeback.
Time called at home plate. And I tell you what, we've been talking about it all night. The Mets had offensively had put together
chances, absolutely.
Traffic. They've left 12. And they're down by 12. You're not going to knock in everybody you put on base. Unless you're the Reds tonight. The 2-2. Check swing on a pitch away. Did he go? No. And it's full on Sal Stewart, who has chipped in with a RBI single. 2 runs scored for the Reds.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is, Madge made this point that the base is loaded with 1 out each time and didn't score.
Payoff to Stewart, bounce to third. This backs up Beatty, who's got it, slings it across in time to end the inning. J.J. Bleday with a kind of a bookend 3-run home run for the Reds. They have a 12-0 lead going to the 9th on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Sentra.
I'll adopt a cat.
Just a cat, Sean? This is a New York Lottery win we're talking about.
I'd get the ultra-rare, hairless cat known as the Minskin.
Then?
I'd turn my garage into a rescue menagerie for all furless felines.
And when that gets too full?
I'll purchase land in the Catskills for them to sunbathe in hairless abandon.
Only cats.
All hair-free animals looking to roam in bald, beautiful peace.
Can I come?
Do you have hair?
New York Lottery. Can you imagine? Play today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
If you're still using a sportsbook to bet on the soccer tournament, you're getting robbed. Delete that app and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. Trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage. Available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app. Use promo code BLAZE to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code BLAZE. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses.
We go to the top of the 9th inning. It is 12-0 Cincinnati. Carson Benz leads off. The pitcher Chase Petty is still out there. He's faced 4 batters, and he's retired them on 5 pitches. Here's his 6th pitch. And Benz takes a strike at the letters, and the count 0.